Zona zotëri, jam në qytetin e Sderotit. Qyteti i Sderotit gjendet në Izrael, në 1 kilometër afërsi të rripit të Gazës. Në 1 kilometër afërsi të rripit të Gazës, qytet i vetëm i banuar me pjesë më të madhe majoritare hebraike. Në këtë qytet nisën sulmet terroriste të 2 viteve më para, ato që njihen ndryshe si sulmet e 7 tetorit. Sot jemi këtu për ta sjellë kontekstin atij zhvillimi, jo për të marrë anë, por të parë se si ka nisur lufta e cila solli më shumë se 70.000 viktima. Sot jemi këtu për të parë ndjenjen e qytetarëve të Sderotit, dhimbjen e tyre, reflektimin nga stresi post-traumatik dhe mënyrën se si jetohet më tutje e sipër. Sot jemi këtu natyrisht për ta nisur këtë reportazh të veçantë edhe për të sjellë më shumë detaje nga ajo çfarë njihet këtu si jetë civilëve. Sot gjithçka ka ndryshuar, sot kur paqja është vendosur si rezultat i marrëveshjes së Sharm el Sheikut, por edhe faktorëve të tjerë, stresi dhe frika e qytetarëve vazhdon të jetë edhe më tutje. Dhe nëse i referohemi kësaj zone këtu është vendi ku ka ndodhur sulmet, këtu është vendi ku forcat terroriste të Hamasit kishin ardhur dhe kishin vrarë civil. Nisur nga fëmijët 4 dhe 5 vjeçar deri tek tutje, tek gjitha ata kalimtarë që kishin ardhur në vazhdimsi. Teksa kur kishte ndodhur kjo, gjithçka ishte fokusuar në lokacionin ku jemi. E lokacioni ku jemi që sot shihet si memorial, dikur ka shërbyer si stacion i policisë. Dhe këtu ishin zhvilluar luftime të ashpra, gjë që më në fund kishin kulmuar edhe me neutralizimin e forcave terroriste. Banimet, ndërtesat duken krejtësisht ndryshe, për arsye se frika ekziston edhe më tutje tek qytetarët. Ndërkohë, ne do të jemi këtu për të sjellë jo vetëm kontekstin e qytetarëve lokal, jo vetëm kontekstin e asaj çfarë ka ndodhur dhe çfarë ka nxitur luftën e cila solli rreth 70.000 viktima, por do të sjellim pak edhe nga brendia asaj se si duken strehimorët edhe brendia e asaj çfarë është si frikë edhe si dhimbje ndaj një lufte që ka sjellë shumë viktima. Qëndroni edhe më tutje me ne. Vetëm 15 sekonda janë në dispozicion për qytetarët, po që se vjen një sulm raketor nga pjesa e Gazës. Vetëm 15 sekonda janë për qytetarët që të gjejnë strehimorën më të afërt në këshillat të cilat jepen në vazhdimsi nga autoritetet e sigurisë. Një nga strehimorët për qytetarët e Sderotit, që është qyteti më në afërsi të Gazës, është edhe kjo që po futemi brenda. Madje kjo strehimore e cila sjell detaje të asaj çfarë ka ndodhur më 7 tetor, tani është shfrytzuar dhe po përdoret si një lokacion ku qytetarët, ku ekipet gazetareske ndërkombëtare kanë mundësi të shohin se çfarë ka ndodhur atë, por të prekin nga afërt që nga dhimbja edhe rrëfimi i qytetarëve e deri tek debati në shumë drejtime. Kështu duket brendia e kësaj strehimore, teksa këtu shohim edhe pjesën e mbetjeve të armatimit, por edhe të raketave, të cilat janë përdorur gjatë sulmit si ka ardhur në këtë moment. Kamermani na e filmon edhe dukjen. Që pjesa e viktimave dhe të kidnapuarve është vendosur këtu, kur në plan të parë, po ashtu e kemi edhe pjesën e armatimit edhe detajet e armatimit më të rëndë që është përdorur ndaj popullatës civile, të cilat armatime kanë edhe mbishkrime se nga kanë ardhur dhe pse janë përdorur. Sot kjo përdoret si qendër, si lokacion ku qytetarët, ku pjesa e gazetarëve, medjave kanë mundësi të vinë dhe të shohin se cilat janë rrëfimet. Ne do të jemi këtu për ta sjellë rrëfimin e parë të një zonje e cila kujdeset këtu, një zonje që kishte patur reflektim që nga presidenti i Shtetit Bashkuar të Amerikës Joe Biden në atë moment, tek Nikki Haley, tek gjithë pjesë të tjera të rëndësishme të botës mediatike dhe politike. Qëndroni më të utimin.
You can see the time. The terrorists come to Sderot. The terrorists have clothes like IDF. He covered with body on the children, and the terrorists come and kill him. Before the father murdered, he told the younger, come back to the car and you be with your sister and your mother. She see how the father murdered. She's only 4 years old. After 2 minutes, some police officer, the name is Gulima, he come and he see the situation. He told the mother, come after me to the police station. I call to the ambulance. The mother, she see how the father murdered. She cannot to drive. She have panic attack. She cannot to drive. After 2 minutes, some guy is work with us, is a Bedouin, is work with us in the municipality. He see the situation and the police officer said, okay, please, I need help. Come after me, drive the car with the 2 children and the mother and come after me to the police station. The terrorists shooting all over the place, all over the world, all the people go to the street shooting. This is the police station, the white building. The terrorists come to here. This guy, the name is Adir Shlomo. Adir Shlomo come to open the police station, and when he get to the police station, he's murdered. Look how many terrorists come to Sderot. The family Swissa get to the police station. The father, the mother, the driver, and the police officer murdered. The big one, 6 years old, she see the situation and she understand if she not covered with blanket now, the terrorists kill she and the sister. And the terrorists coming again and again shooting the driver and the mother. This guy, the name is Meir Abarjin, he's work with us in the police station. When he get to the police station, he's murdered. The big one, the big girl, she understand if she not to scream now. When she see the terrorists go, she need to scream, help me. If she not, she murdered too. She start to scream, help me, and some guy, police officer, work with us, hear the screaming and come to help. The 2 children survive. Look the black car. We take the 2 children out. The children with pajamas. The terrorists shooting more people. This guy murdered too, Marziano. We come back, and a lot of people ask me why you come back? And I said, if I'm not come back, the terrorists win. And we don't have another place in the world. We need to come back.
before October 7, we were facing just rocketable launch, not cars and pickups with terrorists driving the street and shooting everywhere. But because then there's no door to close. I'm not protected from terrorists that stand over here and shooting in, but I am protected from the rockets that was launched from Gaza, because we are now facing opposite direction of Gaza. So Gaza is kind of behind us.
in that direction.
Yeah, so that way, even if you see on these buildings that were built up over here, you can see the line of 4 windows, like look very kind of a squarish next to the blue light hole. These are the safe rooms. I can show even where are the safe rooms in the building that just get built up over here. You can really see it. And again, it's the opposite direction from
every
Gaza.
Apartment, every house has a safe room?
You are not gonna get clear to start building your home if you don't have a safe room.
Kemi mbërritur në afërsi të kufitës në pikën më të afërt që ndan Izraelin me Gazën. Jemi në kibbutz Nir Oz, lokacionin të saktuar teksa në pjesën tjetër shohim rripin e Gazës. Dhe nga ai pozicion atje ku e fokuson kamermani, një pjesë e madhe e terroristëve kanë mbritur në këtë vend, duke shkaktuar kështu vdekjen e mbi 74 personave ose kidnapimin e shumë të tjerëve. Ky lokacion ku jemi të ndodhur tani ka shërbyer si një vendbanim i ndërtuar më shumë se 50 vite më përpara, fillimisht si bazë ushtarake, më pastaj si komunitet lokal, që sot nuk duket ashtu, për arsye se sot shohim jeti braktisur, një pjesë e madhe e vendbanimeve është dëmtuar, teksa qytetarët dhe pjesa e banorëve po përpiqen ta rindërtojnë dhe t'i kthehen jetës normale. Ndërkohë që në pjesën tjetër, tek rripi i Gazës, shihet një shkatërrim total nga luftimet ose nga kjo pjesë e ballafaqimit me forcat mbrojtëse të Izraelit.
All the family was incinerated here inside the house. The 5th of them. Tamar was going to be the governor of this regional council called Eshkol. There were elections here the 14th of October 23. Tamar was really, like in the first place in the race. His agenda was an agenda of a lot of work and entrepreneurship for women in the periphery, because we are in a periphery side of Israel. Yoni was an agriculture, and you can see here how they were shooted from one side here near the house, in this room of the house, and from the other side we found the 3 children totally incinerated inside the shelter. I mean, I'm trying to show you this because I want you to understand what is jihadism, what is radical Islam, what is this issue of infidels in the way of looking at things. You can see inside the house some pictures about the family in regular days.
Kështu duket një nga vendbanimet të kibbutz Nir Oz të sulmuar direkt në sulmet terroriste të 7 tetorit, komplet të shkatruar. Një pjesë e madhe e qytetarëve nga 74 viktimat kanë ndruar jetë dhe janë vrarë këtu. teksa pjesa më e madhe e pengjeve janë marrë në këtë vend. Shohim në flamujt e verdh, të cilat edhe më tutje vijojnë të jenë të valuar në kërkim deri te kthimi i pengut të fundit, teksa kanë mbetur edhe 3 për të kthyer. Sot do kemi mundësi të ndjekim edhe një nga dëshmitë e një zonje e cila e ka përjetuar tmerrjen e sulmeve terroriste të 7 tetorit.
אנחנו שוחררנו ב-27 לנובמבר,
They were released on November 27.
וב-1 לדצמבר הגיעו אנשי צבא והודיעו לנו שרונן לא שרד את השביעי.
And on December 1st, IDF people came to them and basically let them know that Ronen, the husband, didn't survive October 7.
הידיעה שרונן איננו, הכאב, זה לא רק על מה שהיה, זה גם על מה שלא יהיה. וזה משהו שכולם צריכים להבין.
The hurt, the pain of Ronen, it's not just about what it lost, but as well about what is not going to be, the future that they're not going to have. And this is something, she said, that everyone needs to understand.
ואת הילדות, את החיים של 3 הילדים שלי, אף אחד לא יחזיר לי אותו.
The childhood for the her kids, for the 3 kids, no one is going to give back. So if you look as well at the ceiling, you can see as well a lot of the marks of this part of the engage, of the grenade, the explosion of the grenade.
האדם נעצר.
Mbrëmja e 7 tetorit e vitit 2023 doli të jetë e kopshme për më shumë se 370 persona të cilët humbën jetën këtu si pasojë e sulmeve terroriste në festivalin që njihet ndryshe botërisht si Nova Festivali, në vendin ku nisi gjithçka nëse i referohemi krizës dhe luftës së 2 viteve më përpara. Sot jam i vendosur këtu në vendin ku dikur ka qëndruar publiku para një skene të muzikës elektronike, një skene që ishte organizuar mu në afërsitë tonë. Sot, këtu, janë vendosura fotografitë e viktimave, kryesisht të ri, të cilët humbën jetën dhe u vranë mizorisht nga forcat terroriste të Hamasit, të cilët kishin ardhur befasisht këtu dhe të kishin thyer kordonin dhe pjesën kufitare të këtij vendi. Sot 2 vjet më vonë, këtu kujtohen viktimat e asaj mbrëmje të kopshme për Izraelin në përgjithësi, por edhe për të rinjtë e pafajshëm. Sot këtu, ky vend është shndruar në një vend pelegrinazhi ku qytetarët e Izraelit, por edhe qytetarë që vinë nga shumë vende të botës, vinë për të nderuar viktimat e sulmeve terroriste. Sot kemi mundësi të ndjekim edhe rrëfimin e një të mbijetuare në një situatë dramatike, që do të përcillet edhe gjatë rrëfimit të saj. Na ndiqni pas pak.
When the terrorists go inside to Israel, they come from different spots to Israel, but they didn't know about the party. Okay, even I get the location 2 hours before the party starts. They have planned, they come to the kibbutz and then they get it that something going on here in this road because like I said, more than 3,000 people, a lot of cars. So they come here and close on us. So we were like in the middle of all this crazy day. The leaves, I cannot. Now he's gonna be with the, yes. Yes. Imale. I left the policeman. We found some hole on the ground, little bit then deeper than the others. And me and Daniel and Yochai, we land on their back and they start to cover ourselves. And also, when I said cover ourselves, the ground there is like that also, like stone. It's not different, but I felt so exposed, so I turned around on my stomach and I protect my head. And after seconds, they went to the bushes, the terrorists, yes. And he said in English, get up, you. And I knew that he talked to us, and in the same time was like refuse to believe that terrorists talking to me right now. I don't have really time to think. And I get the back of the weapon to my head. I felt my head like that jump and fall on the floor. Few seconds that I'm not there, like my head on the space, I see black. And when I came back to be like all my head is like that, but I feel someone hold my legs, straight my legs, put something heavy on my legs, and I need to play dead like that. I don't know to explain that, like I get some order from God. Now I'm playing dead, and that's it. I play dead, he messed with my legs, another terrorist come, they start to talk with each other in Arabic, and one of them come close to me and I felt that, so I hold my breath, and he like that, pick up my face, look at me, I guess, and let go. After that I guess it's some ropes or something, because my legs jump, when they pull the thing for me. And I talk with God, like, this is really happening. I'm still in denied mood, like, terrorists was here, what's going on? This is not real. And I lose my conscious, but I wake up after 2 hours, and the first thing that I do is call my friend Danielle name. And I call her Danielle, but she don't answer me. I get up my head and I saw she was dead. I look to the right side and I saw Yochai next to me, also dead. And I back with my face to the ground. I don't know what I'm saying, I don't get it. Like I never look back again, and it was without conscious. Only when I was in safe place I get it, that I never look back again. And I talk with God again, like, please make it stop, don't understand nothing. Like, I wake up to the same noises of bullets, of terrorists on the road. We know that I cannot move too much. I need to stay here. And the time I wait and make for a miracle, I felt someone again come close to me. At that point, I was sure this terrorist, I'm scared to death. And that person come to me and start to look something on my body. I stopped to breathe, scared to death, like I said. Look something on my body, and after he finished, he landed on the ground and he put his legs on my legs. Like, this is me, this is my legs. He put his legs like that and don't move. And I wait some minutes until I felt, okay, that person keep going, land half body on me, half body on the floor, and don't move, so he's not a terrorist. Someone was hiding. I get up my head and I saw 22 years old girl, also was in the Nova. Freak out when she saw me. She was sure that I'm dead. She was like, my big miracle is, you can see the scar that I have in my head. Now, when person, protect his head, they do like that. I did like that. Like she was ups and down. She was like that with that hand. I hold that hand, and my face was on the ground. Like I breathed the sand. I was like that, and I got the back of the weapon like that. The weapon didn't touch my head. Like this is my big miracle. If the weapon would touch my head, half brain it was outside. But because that hand, so that finger blow up, she go to that side, this go to that side, a lot of flesh go out. All my bag was blood. But this is what saved me, because she get all the heat, all the power if the weapon direct touched my head, I was dead for sure.
Jam pozicionuar në pjesën më veriore të kufirit ndërmjet Izraelit dhe Libanit. Pjesa që shohim në plan të parë është vendbanimi i parë ose fshati i parë libanez, përderisa ajo çfarë ndan është muri ndërmjet kufirit ndërmjet Libanit dhe Izraelit. Pas sulmeve terroriste të 7 tetorit që kishin ardhur sulme edhe nga ana e Libanit nga forcat e terroristët të Hezbollahut, nuk kishin ngjarë luftime të cilat nuk janë dalur përkundër faktit që ka patur një marrëveshje të armëpushimit. Në vazhdimsi, forcat ajrore dhe forcat toksore të Izraelit shënjestrojnë forcat terroriste të Hezbollahut, cilët në vazhdimsi janë në sulme sipër në raport me shtetin e Izraelit. Ndërkohë që nga ana tjetër është rrafshnalta e Golanit, të cilën e filmon dhe e fokuson kamermani, përderisa pikat më të larta që shihen atje, jo të gjelbrat, por në ngjyrë hiri, i takojnë territorit të Sirisë. Kjo është një nga zonat më strategjike dhe më të rëndësishme për shtetin e Izraelit.
And actually, Hezbollah started the war here in the 7th of October in the evening by shooting rockets and missiles all over the border, from the sea till the mountains that you see, 130 kilometers of border along from the sea to here. They started with shooting all the technology on the border, which is actually a wall along the border. All the technology, all the sensors, the cameras, and all sorts of things that are mounted on the wall, they started to shoot on it. And also the close range villages that are very close to the border, from 0 to 5 kilometers from the border, they started to shoot. Actually, anti-tanks rockets.
Ndodhen në Metulla, në fshatin e parë Izraelit në kufi me Libanin. Në fshatin e parë, në vendbanimin që ishte goditur drejt për drejti nga forcat terroriste të Hezbollahut. Teksa me njëherë në pjesën tjetër, shohim kufirin, i vendosur në vend murit dhe fshatrave tjera që gjenden në zonën e Libanit, fshatra të cilat ishin goditur, ishin kundër goditur nga autoritetet izraelite, pasi ato ishin shfrytzuar si pozicionet Hezbollahut për të sulmuar pjesën izraelite. Këtu, gjatë një periudhe të gjatë kohore, ka patur luftime dhe ka patur viktima, përderisa forcat izraelite, siç e kanë theksuar dhe konfirmuar, është se në pjesën tjetër kanë goditur vetëm kur janë evakuar populatat civile dhe kur kanë shkuar më në veri tek pjesa e Libanit. Kështu duket Metulla, kështu duket kufiri ndërmjet Izraelit dhe Libanit.
most of the houses in this neighborhood of Metula were shot by rockets. Also, the houses that are down there, straight facing the border, also they have been shot from this village over there and this village over here. So this is part of the reason that you see that most of the houses that were located as helping or hosting or something that belongs to Hezbollah were destroyed during the terrain maneuver. The houses, even there in this village, which is also a Shia village, there were houses that have been destroyed. In the ridge that goes over there, you can see that all the houses are okay. They haven't been touched because this is two villages that are belonging to the Christian community, and they were not fighting against us, and they didn't allow Hezbollah to shoot from their villages.
Parlamenti i Izraelit i njohur ndryshe si Kneseti është vendi ku janë vendosur në këto momente. Në sfondin tim, anëtarët e asamblesë, deputetët e këtij shteti parlamentar aprovojnë ligje, zhvillojnë debate, e marrin në pyetje edhe kryeministrin, ndërkohë që ky vend ka një vëmendje të madhe edhe në raport me situatën e krijuar.
Mr. President, you are committed to this peace. I am committed to this peace, and together, Mr. President, we will achieve this peace.
Every day there is a bombing, there is a threat, there is an act of Hamas against our army. And Israel has to protect our borders. Nothing like this can happen again. Nothing like this. It was a slaughter. And we need to protect, because it's not only the south border, we have the north border, which is the threat from Hezbollah, which is threatening us every day. Every day things are happening there. And we have Iran, and Israel is dealing, and we have the Houthis from Yemen. So Israel is dealing with a lot of threats, and we have to be alert all the time. We didn't rest for even one day in this country for many, many years. And it's okay, because this is our country and we're going to protect her and keep her safe. And this is what we have to do.
Yeah. How do you see the United States plan or the plan of the President Trump towards Gaza? And do you see a future in that plan to live people to live together here with no war and to find maybe some solution, which is a compromise?
I want to pray for it. Everybody wants peace. Everybody wants peace. But I live here for more than 50 years in this country, and I know it's very difficult. Although I have a lot of gratitude to President Trump for bringing the hostage back and for trying to help everything. And we'll see how the plans is going. But I have to say that Israel is very independent. So we have to always look and take care of our interest all the time. Every day, every hour, things is changing in this country. Every hour. So it's so hard to look like 10 years from now or 5 years from now. It's so hard for us. We just want 1 week of quiet and I'll be happy. Our children raised in a crazy situation. Since they were born, they learn where the nearest shelter, where the nearest bomb shell, They run very fast. In some areas, they have only 15 seconds to find the bombshell before the missile is coming. It's complicated.
In this time of war and in your struggle, Kosovo was together with you from the first moment until now. What is your message towards Kosovo people and
you are amazing, because not only you were the first one that stand beside us, you came here, you sent us your hugs and sympathies, and it's so gratitude. And I want to go back to the Holocaust. And also in the Holocaust, you protect all the Jewish people. You did it with love and with big heart. And I thank you so much. Please send it to all the citizens in Kosovo that I love them. And I send them a big hug and a big gratitude for what they are and for what their parents were. So thank you.
Well, I think Israel has a lot of lessons to learn, and for the past 2 years we've been trying to learn those lessons. I think we made a few very big mistakes which caused the tragedy of the 7th of October. I think that to begin with we had an errored concept of the Hamas, of their intentions. I think we didn't analyze properly the intelligence that we had. And we were in the belief that if Hamas receives, money to pay the salaries for their employees and so on and so forth, then they would be interested in building Gaza up and developing the economy there and giving a better life to the people of the Gaza Strip, and therefore we felt that that is the direction of Hamas, and that they're not planning anything against us. But this was a horrific mistake, as we discovered, and paid a very, very, very high price for this mistake. And I think that one of the lessons that we learned was never to take anything as, never underestimate anything, never underestimate any threat, and not to enable any of the terrorist groups around us to rebuild their strength. Not the Hamas, not the Hezbollah in Lebanon, or any other entity that will try to rebuild its military power after.
Madam Ambassador, when we talk about the casualties, there has been more than 60,000 casualties. I'm referring to international media and also international organization. What is your stand about this situation, this hard situation, when we have such a tremendous loss?
Well, look, first of all, the loss of innocent people, no matter on what side, if it's in Israel or in the Palestinians, it's heartbreaking, and civilians should not be hurt in any case. But we know when you speak about 60,000 people, those are not only civilians. The large amount of the number is the Hamas terrorist operatives that were killed. And yes, you do have a large number of civilians as well. And as I said, our war is not with the civilians. We never intended to target civilians. That's not what we do, as opposed to the Hamas that completely targeted civilian people. But unfortunately, the Hamas's tactics is to hide behind human shields, to use the civilians as their shield. And when you have this situation and Hamas uses hospitals and uses humanitarian bodies and uses mosques and uses schools in order to be their front bases because they believe that we wouldn't touch them if they're in hospitals, this is the tragedy. This is the tragedy. To hide missiles in the beds of children is a tragedy. To hide it in schools, to hide ammunition and things in hospitals, not to enable the people to receive the medical care that they need because Hamas took over the hospitals. That's a tragedy. And yes, this causes, unfortunately, this causes losses in civilian lives.
So that morning I called my family, and my father-in-law told me that his grandson, Michael, called him in the morning. He called him a few minutes ago. It was 6:45 that morning to tell him that mommy and daddy are lying down on the floor and not answering. So I thought that's strange. And he didn't know to explain to me what are they doing on the floor, because I couldn't understand. It was too strange. So I called my sister-in-law. Her name was Smadar. Her husband, his name was Ro'i. And they had 3 children. Michael, who was 9 that time. Amalia, his sibling, was 6 years old. And little Abigail was 3 years old. Well, I called Smadar's phone and she did not respond the phone. But her son, Michael, answered the phone. And it went something like that. Michael, good morning. Can I speak to mommy? No. Okay, that's strange. Can I speak to daddy? And he said, no. I said, Michael, can I speak to one of your parents? And he didn't answer me. But his sister Amalia shouted to me. I was holding my phone on speaker. She shouted to me, Ella, they cannot answer you because everybody's dead. I was, what? No. Amalia, that's not funny. I want to speak to one of your parents, please. And she said, but you can't. I told her, why? So she told me a terrorist came with a big gun. He shot mommy, and he shot daddy, and he shot little Abigail. We were all alone. I felt very, very lonely. It took another 30 hours until all of the survivals from the kibbutz were saved, because at that day, a lot were killed. But most of my family were not killed. Smadar and Ro'i, my sister and brother-in-law, were killed that day. But we didn't know that little Abigail, she was not killed. Abigail when her father was shot, she ran to the neighbors, and at 11 o'clock that morning, the Hamas terrorists came inside of there and kidnapped the mother with her 3 little babies and Abigail to Gaza. We didn't know that for a week. We were looking for her for a week because we couldn't find Abigail in the kibbutz. So she was kidnapped alone as an orphan, 3 years old, to Gaza.
Një segment shumë i rëndësishëm në funksionimin e jetës në përgjithësi, por të kësaj situate të luftës është segmenti shëndetësor. Sot kemi mundësi të ndjekim një rrëfim të veçantë të drejtorit të spitalit Sheba, që është spitali më i madh në rajon, i cili 26 vite më përpara ka qenë një nga njerëzit kryesor në ndërtimin e një qendre spitalore mobile ndërmjet Kosovës dhe Maqedonisë, që është përkujdeset në veçanti për refugjatët nga Kosova. Qëndroni më tutje me ne.
Military, medical, clinic, deployment of the IDF, and stationed on the border between Northern Macedonia and former Yugoslavia, time to be Kosovo, and accepted refugees who ran away from Pristina. And as a young service guy on the land of Europe, at that moment, 70 years after my family, my grandparents, part of them ran away, part of them were sent to Auschwitz in a camp which a train crosses this area. For me, you need to understand as an Israeli, as a proud officer in the army, but also as a living memory of my ancestors in Europe was very, very meaningful, almost 3 weeks. At that moment, it was also Independent Day, so we left in Pesach, and in Independent Day and Memorial Day, that just before, to have a ceremony on the land of Europe with our colleagues was very, very powerful and meaningful.
During the course of the war, we took care of and rehabilitated 70% of all Israeli soldiers who were injured in Gaza and also from missiles that hit from Lebanon. And one of the most amazing statistics that we have here is that, unfortunately, because we are always in some sort of war situation, our doctors in the operating room are very, very efficient. So if you're on the battlefield and you were injured and you get to Sheba within an hour from the battlefield, you will have a 99% chance of living and moving on with your life. And that's a statistic that doesn't exist anywhere else in the world, only in Israel. We also have been dealing with the hostages for the last 2 years, and we finally can take a step back and hopefully we never have to deal with it again. Of the 4 hospitals that were involved in receiving hostages, we received the most, close to 60. And the last group that came out, we had 10 out of the 20, and the other two other hospitals had 5 each. So we have also opened a rehabilitation clinic for the hostages. You may think, and you may have seen that they have gone home. They really have not gone home. A lot of them still need a lot of psychological and physical rehab. And so we have a returning to life clinic where they can use our facilities whenever they need, 24/7, 365 days a year. And they are using it. There are those who still need a lot of work.
Zyra ku jam ullur tani është zyra e ish presidentit dhe ish kryeministrit Izraelit, Shimon Peres. Kështu duket në mënyrë origjinale ambientet e punës në cilat ai ka punuar deri ditët e fundit. Shimon Peres, ish presidenti dhe ish kryeministri i ndjerë i Izraelit, është fitues i çmimit Nobel për paqe pas marrëveshjes së Oslos, marrëveshje e arritur gjatë vitit 1993 me oponentin e tij nga pala palestineze, Yasser Arafat. Dukja e zyrës është komplet origjinale, teksa Peres është edhe fitues i çmimit më të lartë të Shtetet Bashkuara të Amerikës që jepet një qytetari të huaj, derisa dedikimi i tij në vazhdimsi ka qenë paqja, dhe paqja e ka sjellë edhe këtë qendër inovative me emrin e tij, qendër që fokusohet në zbulime për të ardhmen jo vetëm për shtetin e Izraelit, por në përgjithësi në fusha të ndryshme.
When he finished his role as president, he returned here to continue his dream to create the Peres Center for Peace. Now, you might ask, okay, we got that, but what about the innovation part? How does that play in? So as president, Mr. Peres met with a lot of other leaders, among them Barack Obama, the President of the United States, who wanted to see the startup nation. You know that Israel is called the startup nation. We'll talk about that a little bit later. And there was no really any way of showing him the startup nation because we can't take him on a tour around Israel. There's no time, security-wise also it's a problem. So they organized a small exhibition in Jerusalem, and Barack Obama was very, very impressed, and that gave Peres the idea that we need to have that kind of center to show our innovation, to show our creativity, to show how forward-thinking Israel is. And since we have so many other museums showing our beautiful past, we need something to show our present and future. And that's how this became the Peres Center for Peace and Innovation. What this does is it calculates the trajectory of the missile coming at us, and according to that, it calculates the point where it can meet it and meets it mid-air to explode it. And that is how we protected ourselves during the war. I mean, we were shot so many missiles, so many. It's so good that we know how to defend ourselves, because otherwise we would have a lot of damage, a lot more damage. So we're just better at protecting ourselves, right? We didn't try to attack so much back, but we just want to protect ourselves. It's a protection system, yeah. It meets the missiles that are shot at us mid-air, it calculates the trajectory, and it meets them in the sky, and then they explode.
How many Jews we have here in the state?
Like 7 million.
7 million? 8 million? How many Jews we have out there? 15? No, 15, it's including Israel. Oh. It's including what the Jews, I mean, we have 15 million Jews. It's dust in the wind. It's nothing. None. Tiny Israel for Jews is the last resort. Try to think what we have around that, just to get an idea about that. Israel hasn't got the luxury of playing games with its own destiny. If we are not one step ahead, technologically speaking, we are doomed. If in the 7th of October there was no idea, we wouldn't be here now. Every Israeli will tell you that. Even if you're leftist or right-winger, doesn't matter. Those guys were massacred and slaughtered each one of us. I'm talking about Hamas, not about Muslims at large. So what we have to do is to marginalize the lunatics, the radicals, and not let them be in the highway, dictating the rhythm. This is Tony Blair. Trump actually would like him to be the governor of future Gaza. Well, we like this guy, and we wish him a success. But nobody in Israel should be drifted into naivety with which to say that there is kind of a progress in Gaza I would say, upper Gaza, while in lower Gaza, we're gonna have Hamas in his tunnels trying to recuperate and reconstruct himself once again. This is something we cannot accept, because this is the recipe for another atrocities in the future. So we are in a very, very important phase in Israel. There is a huge opportunity to get rid of those lunatics. We need the help of the world and some Arab and Muslim world states in order to create a totally different Middle East.
Faleminderit shumë për durimin, zona o zotëri. Faleminderit shumë. Në këtë moment përmbylljes mbrëmjes, përpos që falenderoj edhe një herë ambasadorët Rudolf